coming from the swampland of New Jersey. We survived another weekend, and we were rewarded with whatever that was played on Sunday in the NFL, but it was the Travis Kelce, Kansas City Chiefs road circus. They have become a traveling circus here with a bunch of A-list, B-list, C-list celebrities ratcheting on to the Chiefs circus band wagon. So the Chiefs are visiting to play Zach Wilson and the Jets. Always a date you look forward to because that's pretty much a guaranteed victory. Mike Tirico, Chris Collinsworth, they were there for NBC. Taylor Swift did show up there with Ryan Reynolds and a bunch of other celebrities. That got a wee bit of attention, although the other celebrities was like an afterthought. But if you didn't see the game, if you missed it, you did not watch, and you missed out, it was a 17-0 Chiefs lead. And Mahomes didn't really play all that well after that, and the Jets defense made some plays. But in the end, Kansas City able to get a 3-point win as the Rutgers product back in New Jersey. Isaiah Pacheco running for 115 yards. He had a touchdown as well. So the Chiefs are 3-1. They get the victory, and the Jets drop to 1-3 on the season, 1-3. The better story, though, is in the losing locker room, so that is where we will go. We will start on the Jets side of things, so let's discuss. The question is it now safe for the Jets to believe in Zach Wilson? Oh, Zach Wilson had a good game. He's arrived. It's like his bar mitzvah, Zach Wilson out there for the Jets. So to answer the question, is it now safe to believe in Zach Wilson? I am shaking my head no. That would be a capital N and a capital O on that. I will be the voice of reason in the darkness. And on this one, we've got Subway Rat, Tim Donaghy, and Thermostat. And we will combine all of these things together, and we will pour the concrete that will be the foundation of this Maller monologue. So, as you've likely heard over the years, and maybe you believe in this as well, everything is relative, right? Everything is relative. So Zach Wilson had a good stat line in some areas, right? In some areas, considering where Zach Wilson had been, but it did come in a game where the Chiefs were leading 17-0, and then the Jets worked their way back into a tie. But when you take a couple of steps back, right, it's nothing to get fired up about and get excited about that this is some kind of coming out party for Zach Wilson, that he's out of the closet now and the dunce closet, and now he's going to be good. There's no evidence of that. Kansas City played a C-level game. Can we all agree on that? They were sloppy. They were lethargic. They were plumb for the taking there. They were ripe for the picking in this game, and they still ended up with 401 yards of offense against that Jets defense, even not playing particularly well. He still had over 400 yards of offense, barely. But Patrick Mahomes, keep this in mind, had Patrick Mahomes decided to run the football into the end zone rather than slide down inside the 5-yard line with less than 2 minutes to go, the Chiefs still would have covered the point spread because they would have won by 10. They were 9.5-point favorites. Now, I did have the Jets, so I was happy that he decided to do that, and I would like to thank him for that. As someone that does a fledgling gambling show on television now, it does help. So thank you for doing that. But had all things been the same and he goes into the end zone, the Jets don't score again. The Chiefs win by 10, and we're having a much different conversation. But the excitement, this is a teachable moment. The excitement about Zach Wilson is a reminder of what a deep, dark place he finds himself in, right? It's reality, right? This guy has been the epitome of a subway rat, Zach Wilson, the way that he has played in his career. And the Jets know he sucks. They went out and got Aaron Rodgers because they knew they had nobody at quarterback. Rodgers got hurt, so now they're playing him. And if I was the Jets and I had a chance today to acquire a halfway decent quarterback, I would do it. I would, even after this game. Maybe this helps you. This should help the Jets. They can now tell some other dumb team, look, he's coming around. Take Zach Wilson off our hands. But, man, I mean, you're so desperate. You're looking for anything to latch on to. if you're the Jets, I get it. But when you put it under the microscope, right, and the Jets, they were down 17-0 early in the game. They had a couple of good drives, the Jets. Overall, Zach Wilson, when you take the microscope out and analyze it, Zach Wilson still averaged less than 6.5 yards per pass attempt. 7 is average, and he was at 6.3 yards per attempt. He also had the back-breaking turnover late in the game. Are we supposed to forget about that? Maybe we are. I don't know. All right. Is that how this works? Now, let's get to the good stuff now. Not that that wasn't good stuff, but let's now get to the good stuff. There was one play in particular, one play that stands out like a throbbing thumb in the Sunday night game, and it caused the New York Jets coach there to have a nuclear meltdown on the sidelines. He had a coronary, Robert Saleh, the Jets coach here, following a controversial penalty flag that went against New York's defense late in the fourth quarter. And after Patrick Mahomes had thrown what would have been an interception, had it stood, an official penalized Sauce Gardner. He got saucy, the referee, penalizing Sauce Gardner. It was a very questionable situation there, and that returned possession to Kansas City, gave him a first down. Now, Robert Saleh was irate. He was inflamed. He lost his cool there. People were going nuts. The penalty flag wiped out what would have been the third interception of the day for Patrick Mahomes, if you want to know how the Jets were able to stay in the game, and would have given the ball to the Jets had the interception stood at about their own 30-yard line, down by 3. They would have had the ball, just needing a field goal to tie the game. Instead, the Chiefs were given a fresh set of downs, and they would not screw that up. They pretty much ran the clock out after that. They ran the clock out. I think that was it. The game was over. So the question here on this particular interaction between Robert Saleh and the referees, how did you see it as a neutral party? How did you see this particular call, the official throwing the flag on Sauce Gardner? So this is right out of the NBA world. This reminds me of a Tim Donaghy-like situation here, meddling by the referees. And there's no way the NFL can spin this at all. It was so obvious. Even our blind listeners know how bad this call was. And I'll tell you why, right? This is what you see in basketball, and we don't talk as much basketball on the show as other shows do because of these kind of calls that happen all the time in the NBA. That and the players don't actually like playing in the NBA. But in this particular situation, if you go back and go frame by frame, Zapruder film style, and analyze what happened on the call, the referee waited. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. He waited until the pass was picked off, which means had the Chiefs converted the first down and kept possession of the ball, there would have been no penalty. It was a phantom call by the official to screw over the Jets. I don't know why. I could come up with some assumptions why. In basketball, that kind of call happens. It's a superstar league. You got to protect the superstars. Is that what was going on here? But even if you think it was the right call, the call was not made right away. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. Then you throw the flag. Then you throw the flag after that. I'm not a Jets fan. I'm not a Chiefs fan. I'm telling you what I saw. It's like they were covering for Mahomes. You can't have Mahomes throw a third interception here. Cannot do it. Cannot do it. Because then maybe Taylor Swift, if the Chiefs lose, we won't have Taylor at our games anymore. They'll think she's a jinx. They won't let her out there. Now, I am convinced. See, it was unnecessary. I'm convinced the Jets would have screwed up anyway. That Zach Wilson would have worked his magic, and that would have been great. Say tie game, Jets tie it up, whatever. He would have screwed it up in the end. But we didn't get that. We did not get that at all. All right, now, the last word here. Where does this particular game leave this performance? Where does this performance leave Andy Reid's Chiefs? As they win, they don't win by a gazillion. They were big favorites on the road in the swamplands of New Jersey. So it's actually one of those things where coaches love this kind of stuff. Coaches go crazy for this, right? Because the Chiefs won, but they played a C-minus level game. And so when you play a C-minus level game, you're Andy Reid, you're like, well, we got a lot of work to do, all that crap that coaches like to say. So Andy's got to go back into the sorcerer's workshop or the donut shop or wherever he works, and he's got to figure out how to get some things in order. Now, I don't know what Andy Reid can do because I look at the Chiefs, and we see them play a lot. They're on national television, big games, island games all the time. And I watch the Chiefs, and I'm like, their offensive line, their tackles stink. That guy Taylor, he's number 74. Man, that guy sucks. And then you look at the receivers for the Chiefs, and you're going up and down. You're like, well, that guy's no good. They've got one person that can catch passes, Travis Kelce, but he's a tight end. They don't have a single receiver on that team worth their salt. Not Marquez Valdez-Scantling. He's no. Good name, long name, a lot of letters. Production, no, not there. And you go up and down the depth chart at receiver. At receiver, there's just nothing there. So the trade deadline is on Halloween, and it should be a rather spooky Halloween for the Chiefs. You get some help. Get an offensive lineman. Get a tackle. Who cares about your draft picks? You're going to be drafting near the end of every round anyway, so go out and improve the roster. You got to do it. Anyway, it is the Ben Maller Show. I don't have my computer up, but I think we have Robert Saleh. So here's Robert Saleh and his reaction. You'll hear the question and the answer. Here's Robert Saleh commenting on the play we were just talking about a few minutes ago here, the phantom penalty that was not called until after the pass was intercepted. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. Here's the Jets coach.
Robert, can you talk about the holding call on Sauce Gardner?
I'm not going to comment on that. I've already.
Is that what you were upset about when you got called for the penalty?
Oh, come on. Give me more than that, Robert. You get all worked up into a lather on the sidelines. Oh, I'm not going to comment on that. Ridiculous. Now, one thing that Robert Saleh is really good at is giving a shoulder rub and a mani and a petty to Zach Wilson, even when Zach doesn't deserve it. Zach's so bad, he had an average game, and people are all excited about him. Here's Robert Saleh giving a bubble bath to his quarterback. Take a listen.
I thought he was really good.
Yeah.
Gave us a chance to win the game, brought us back. If he plays like that, we're going to win a lot of football games.
Yeah. If you're in the CFL, you'll win a lot of games.